seat, stupid.
Jelly Roll built his name on emotional lyrics, gritty vocals, and a past filled with personal struggles that fans couldn't help but root for. But now, this award-winning country rap artist is making headlines for something completely unexpected, and it has nothing to do with music charts or stadium tours. Instead of dropping another hit single, Jelly Roll just stepped into one of the most intense, unpredictable arenas in entertainment: professional wrestling. That's right. The man who once sat behind bars and later stood on CMA stages is now jumping into the world of body slams, steel chairs, and wild crowd chants. It's a move that has fans across the internet talking, and not just wrestling fans. Jelly's crossover into WWE has shaken up both the music world and the sports entertainment industry, creating a moment that no one saw coming. For those who don't follow wrestling closely, WWE is essentially the Hollywood of professional wrestling: glamorous, scripted, explosive, and packed with drama. And SummerSlam? It's one of WWE's biggest annual events, sort of like the Super Bowl, but with more fireworks and physical chaos. So when Jelly Roll suddenly popped into the middle of the WWE storyline, fans of both worlds had questions. Why him? Why now? And what's really going on? This isn't just a one-time cameo. It's starting to look like Jelly Roll is becoming a regular face in WWE's wild universe. And the story behind how and why this all started is even more surprising than the move itself. Before he was walking into wrestling rings and trading stares with WWE superstars, Jelly Roll was just a kid from Nashville with a record that didn't start with music. It started with a rap sheet. He's been open about his past, and that honestly is a big reason fans connect with him. By the time he turned 21, he'd already been arrested over 40 times. His early years were marked by drug charges, jail time, and battles with addiction. For many, that kind of start would have been the end, but Jelly Roll turned it into fuel. While locked up, he wrote lyrics on scraps of paper and started dreaming of a better life. He hustled his way into the music scene, releasing underground mixtapes and blending country soul with gritty southern rap. His sound was raw, emotional, and unlike anything on the radio, which made people pay attention. What really pushed him into the spotlight was his ability to tell painful truths without sugarcoating them. Tracks like Save Me and Son of a Sinner didn't just get airplay, they hit people in the gut. He sang about depression, recovery, redemption, all wrapped in a voice that sounded like it had been through every word it sang. Eventually, he caught the attention of Nashville's country scene, and the rest was history. Jelly Roll went from an ex-con performing at small clubs to winning big at the CMT Music Awards, performing on national TV, and getting nominated for a Grammy. And all of it happened while staying true to who he was: tattoos, past mistakes, and all. That authenticity is what made Jelly Roll a star in music. But now, it's also what's making him a natural fit for WWE's over-the-top world of characters and chaos. Once Jelly Roll found his voice and his audience, there was no turning back. What started as a gritty mixtape hustle soon transformed into a full-blown takeover of the country and rock charts. Fans couldn't get enough of his raw, soul-bearing songs, and neither could award shows. His breakout single, Son of a Sinner, wasn't just another hit. It became a defining anthem for people who'd ever felt broken, lost, or judged by their past. The track topped Billboard's Emerging Artists chart and won multiple CMT Music Awards, including Breakthrough Male Video of the Year. Suddenly, Jelly Roll wasn't just a Nashville name, he was a nationwide sensation. He followed that momentum with a string of hits like Need a Favor and Save Me, each one pulling in millions of views and climbing radio charts across genres: country, rock, gospel, even hip-hop. Jelly Roll blurred the lines and made it work. That genre-bending style made him a unicorn in the industry. People who'd never listened to country or rap were now streaming his songs on repeat. He landed performances at the CMA Awards, the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and even Rolling Loud. He sold out arenas, he went viral on TikTok, and in 2024, he was nominated for his first Grammy, officially joining the ranks of mainstream music's biggest names. But what really set Jelly Roll apart wasn't just the awards or the numbers, it was how he carried himself. Even with all the fame, he still talked like the guy who never forgot where he came from. And that down-to-earth energy made him feel more like a friend than a celebrity. That same grounded vibe will come in handy when Jelly Roll entered an even bigger spotlight. One where fans are louder, the hits are harder, and the storylines are just as wild. If you were watching SummerSlam in 2024, chances are you remember exactly where you were when Jelly Roll stormed into the spotlight. For music fans, it was a total surprise. For wrestling fans, it was a jaw-dropping moment. One minute, a heated match was unfolding in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans. Then out of nowhere, the bearded country rap star marched down the ramp with a steel chair in hand. Without hesitation, Jelly Roll slid into the ring and smashed that chair straight into the backs of heel wrestlers Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who had been running his mouth all night. The crowd exploded, and before anyone could blink, he delivered a picture-perfect chokeslam to Austin Theory that made even longtime WWE fans do a double take. But this wasn't just a publicity stunt. Backstage sources later revealed that Jelly had been in talks with WWE for months, and his appearance at SummerSlam wasn't a one-and-done cameo. It was the start of something much bigger. Even WWE legends like Triple H and John Cena took notice. Behind the scenes, they reportedly praised Jelly Roll for bringing real energy and commitment to the performance, and fans loved it too. The reaction online was immediate, clips went viral, hashtags trended, and fans who had never watched wrestling were suddenly talking about SummerSlam. What made it even more iconic? Jelly Roll didn't try to act like someone else. He walked into that ring as himself, tattoos, belly, chain and all. It wasn't some fake tough guy act. He just looked like a dude who meant business, and that made it all the more believable. His WWE debut had all the chaos, all the drama, and all the buzz, but little did fans know, that was just the opening act. Before we jump into what Jelly Roll did next, take a quick second to help us out. We're on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're so close to the halfway mark, just a few away from 500. But believe it or not, 99% of viewers still aren't subscribed yet. If you've been enjoying this video so far, hit that subscribe button and grow this channel with me. Every single click makes a difference, and I truly appreciate everyone who's been watching. Now let's get back into the chaos Jelly Roll stirred up next. After shocking the world at SummerSlam, most people assumed Jelly Roll would ride the viral wave and step back. But instead, he did the opposite. He doubled down. Less than a year later, he was back, not just as a guest, but as a full-blown part of WWE programming. And this time, he wasn't just swinging chairs, he was getting into full-on tag team action. It started on July 11th, when WWE brought SmackDown to Nashville, Jelly Roll's hometown. The energy was wild from the moment he walked out. The crowd gave him a hero's welcome, but things turned ugly fast. Logan Paul, known for his loudmouth and cocky attitude, tried to hijack the spotlight. He taunted Jelly Roll, called him out, and even cracked joke about his music and his weight. Jelly didn't say much, but he didn't have to. He stepped into the ring alongside veteran wrestler Randy Orton and stared down Logan and his partner Drew McIntyre like he belonged there. And when the fists started flying, Jelly Roll jumped in without hesitation. No hesitation, no flinching, just pure instinct. The next night in Atlanta, he was back again, this time at Saturday night's main event. Once again, he backed up Randy Orton during a chaotic match and took part in a brawl that spilled out of the ring and into the arena floor. Fans were stunned, not just because of the action, but because Jelly actually held his own. At this point, it was clear. This wasn't a celebrity trying to play wrestler. This was a guy who genuinely respected the craft and was ready to get his hands dirty. And what came next would prove he was taking this role more seriously than anyone imagined. Most celebrity cameos in WWE end with a few punches, a flashy exit, and a viral tweet. But Jelly Roll had a different mindset. After showing up at live shows and trading blows with some of WWE's biggest names, he didn't just go back to his music tour bus, he went straight to training. Sources close to WWE confirmed that Jelly Roll spent time at the Performance Center in Orlando, a top-tier facility where rising superstars grind daily to master the craft. And Jelly wasn't there for the cameras. He reportedly asked to train with real wrestlers, conditioning his body and learning how to move in the ring safely and convincingly. This is a guy who once said he couldn't jog for more than 30 seconds without losing his breath. But now he's hitting the ropes, practicing moves, and lifting weights like he's prepping for a title match. It's not about looking like a pro wrestler, it's about feeling like one. And Jelly Roll, to his credit, has never been about fake personas. He's been honest about the pressure too. Wrestling is physically brutal. It's not just about learning the stunts, it's about earning the respect of fans who can smell phoniness from a mile away. And that's exactly why this transition is working. Jelly Roll isn't pretending. He's approaching this like everything else in his life, with full intensity, grit, and heart. Interviews from people close to WWE say he's even watching tapes from wrestling legends like The Undertaker and Mick Foley, guys who didn't have the bodybuilder look, but became icons through charisma, storytelling, and toughness. And with SummerSlam 2025 approaching fast, fans started wondering, was Jelly Roll just another gimmick? Or was he about to shock the world again? Just when people thought Jelly Roll was done surprising them, he went and made headlines again, this time on live television. On July 16th, he stepped in as a guest host on Jimmy Kimmel Live and brought his signature humor and southern charm to the late night stage. At first, it was all laughs. He joked about being mistaken for Post Malone and even poked fun at his own journey from jail to the Grammys. But things didn't stay lighthearted for long. Midway through the show, the vibe completely shifted. Out of nowhere, WWE's superstar Drew McIntyre crashed the set with Logan Paul right behind him. The two stormed onto the stage, accusing Jelly Roll of stealing their spotlight, trashing their credibility, and ruining the wrestling business with his celebrity antics. It was supposed to be a light promo segment, but Jelly Roll clearly didn't get that memo. When Logan Paul ran his mouth one insult too far, Jelly snapped. In front of a stunned live studio audience, he grabbed Logan and slammed him through Jimmy Kimmel's desk with a brutal chokeslam that looked anything but scripted. The crowd gasped. The clip went viral within minutes. The internet exploded. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all flooded with reactions. Some called it one of the wildest moments in late night history. Others wondered how much of it was real. But one thing was certain, Jelly Roll had just reignited the fire heading into SummerSlam. People who had never even watched the wrestling match were now Googling who Drew McIntyre was and why Jelly Roll just body slammed Logan Paul through furniture. And just like that, Jelly Roll went from special guest to main attraction. While fans on social media were eating up every second of Jelly Roll's wild WWE moments, not everyone backstage was clapping. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul made their messages clear. They weren't happy. Drew McIntyre continued to take to podcasts and press interviews to air his frustration. He made it known that he was sick of WWE handing out spotlight moments to people who hadn't paid their dues in the ring. Bad Bunny? Travis Scott teasing WrestleMania? McIntyre didn't hold back. He thought WWE was starting to look more like a celebrity playground than a place for real athletes. Logan Paul, of course, doubled down. He built his whole wrestling character around being arrogant, and this time was no different. He joked that Jelly Roll was just another fan with a beard, trying to steal his thunder. But behind the scenes, reports suggested that tension wasn't entirely an act. Some wrestlers reported felt disrespected, arguing that while Jelly Roll may be passionate, he hasn't put in years of training like they have. But here's the twist. Fans didn't seem to care. In fact, many loved that Jelly Roll represented the underdog, the outsider who didn't come from wrestling schools or bodybuilding gyms, but from real-life struggles. The kind of guy who'd rather talk about addiction and redemption than championship belts. This culture clash between the locker room and the spotlight added a new layer of drama heading into SummerSlam. Would Jelly Roll be welcome as part of the roster? Or would he have to earn respect the hard way, one body slam at a time? All eyes are now on SummerSlam 2025, scheduled for August 2nd and 3rd at MetLife Stadium. The event is already shaping up to be one of the wildest in WWE history, and Jelly Roll is right in the middle of it. This isn't just another appearance. Jelly Roll will officially team up with WWE legend Randy Orton in a tag team match against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. It's a battle packed with tension, egos, and something to prove on every side. And for Jelly Roll, it's more than just a fight. It's a chance to prove he belongs in this world. The stakes are massive. The match is being promoted across WWE's biggest platforms and will stream globally on Peacock and Netflix, marking one of the most heavily marketed crossover events in years. For fans, this is must-see TV. For Jelly Roll, it's personal. He's not a trained wrestler. He's not chasing a championship. He's walking into the ring to show the world that redemption, drive, and heart can hit harder than any scripted storyline. And when the bell rings, everyone will be watching to see if the music star can survive the mayhem. Jelly Roll's journey from jail cells to music awards was already one of the most unlikely success stories in entertainment. But now, he's attempting something even crazier, stepping into a wrestling ring with some of the biggest names in WWE and putting his body, reputation, and legacy on the line. For diehard fans of wrestling, this crossover is controversial. For fans of Jelly Roll, it's just another example of him doing what he's always done, defying expectations and staying true to himself. No gimmicks, no acting, just grit, passion, and the same unshakable spirit that built his music career. Whether he walks out of SummerSlam victorious or carried out by medics, one thing is guaranteed: he's going to leave it all in the ring, because that's what underdogs do. So here's the real question. Can a man who survived the streets, addiction, and the music industry now survive the WWE? Or will Jelly Roll do what no one expects, step into the lion's den, and come out swinging with the whole arena chanting his name?